Right, let's go. Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 31st of October. So, final day of the month, we'll see if there's any adjustments being made or whatever, but for now, what certainly seems to be the case is that the dollar's being, I say sold, it's not like it's massively sold, but it's easing back compared to the other majors as we move towards Wednesday evening. So tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock actually this week. I've got to remember the hour difference isn't there, or the extra hour difference isn't there. Anyway, so let's get on and look at the risk events for this morning first. Sorry, this is I was looking at the the probability according to the CME site, which is a really good Fed site. You can watch what the expectations of interest rates are going to be on each occasion over the next year or so. Anyway, it looks like it's very high probability of them not doing anything tomorrow. Even though one thing you've got to be careful is there has been quite a change in the fundamentals. So let's look at this anyway. Let's get on and look at where we are here. So let's get into this week, and it's all right, Tuesday then. So we've already had what we got. We've got nothing actually. We've had the let me unfilter this. I filtered it to just the US. That's it. That's better. I knew we had something. So we've had the Australian rates left alone at 4.1. There's no surprises there. What else we got today then? It's a pretty light day actually. In fact, I've actually got everything on the list. It seems almost like it's too light a day, and I can't shake this around. Let's have another look. Everything's listed. Apply a filter. Yep. Let's get back down there. I've got the whole month, I've just realised now, and not just there we go. I thought there was some stuff out today. Bank of Japan has been meeting overnight. There we go. Very lackluster sort of content there. The press conference. There's just nothing coming out of there that's changing things compared to what's been flashing in terms of expectations on the news services. Which caused another blip again yesterday, a smaller one, but it's just repeated news, and none of it's materialised. So the Bank of Japan, business as usual, it would appear at the moment. This morning we've got the core inflation data out year on year. It's the flash data for Europe as a whole. There, a lot of data, a lot of inflation numbers have already been released, so it's graded lower here. So it's just someone adding them up, basically. Hence the numbers are not particularly busy here. There is actually Canadian GDP. It's a monthly figure. It rarely creates much volatility, but can create volatility. Nothing big in previous months or years. That's pretty much it, really. New Zealand unemployment data later this evening. Right. That's UK time, of course. Where we are at the moment, then Euro US dollar. You see, we're back into its rising channel here properly at the moment. It would appear, and it does look like quite nice on this 4-hourly picture. It's come back. It's broken through, retested the weekly pivot, and looking like it's got some potential to continue. You see on the hourlies, got to be a bit wary of this because as well, it might just go. Of course, but often it pips in there, then completely reverses for a while, and then goes. So got to be careful. It's 7.50 at the moment. It's amazing what happens at 10 past. Anyway, looking positive with the high lows, higher highs through there. Maybe some opportunities. The pound dollar. A bit more choppy across the time frames here. It's not so clear. but again, it's looking like it's well, in this case, it's trying to break through its weekly pivot here. A break above that would certainly be more bullish. And you can see a similar picture to what's going on with the euro at the moment. And again, I'd wait and be patient, but this does look like it's got some scope for the upside today. Maybe R1, maybe even pushing through that. US dollar yen, well, it's all back to business as usual here on the dailies. You can see it's back up to the highs where it was previously. The noise that's come into this market has been washed out, and it would appear that they're playing down any potential intervention or even discussion about currency points at the moment. Anyway, so it's moved back to where it was on Monday. When I say Monday, Saturday, Friday. That was the day. Last day of trading. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar breaking to the up, pushing back to the upside here as well. It's same situation. It put the highs in. I mentioned the lows in yesterday. I mentioned it, and it's pushing back up here. It's towards the top of its near-term range, but it's got the scope to carry on pushing through there. Looking on the shorter time frame here, it's retraced to its S1. S1 and R1 on the same day is normally relatively well, only got about a 20% chance for happening. However, the pivots are not massively wide, and looking at the price action for a normal day, well, it's got the scope to do that. US dollar CAD, this has largely been pushing. Yesterday was the exception, but it's largely been softening. The other markets have been tightening up against the US dollar, so the US dollar's been falling against the other markets effectively, to put it in the CAD terms. Okay, it's coming off a little bit at the moment, but it's not moving quite the same, and a softer CAD seems to be on the cards there. Looking at the sentiment yesterday, it's not particularly strong at the moment. New Zealand dollar, another one, very weak, but at the moment it's catching the bounce. Can't do too much with this. I don't want to be on the long side of this at the moment, but it is, well, it's pretty going sideways, look, mostly. I was really waiting. My little alert down there is for the sell side. I was actually waiting for it to break back below the pivot. Might happen into Thursday, we'll see, but not a market for me to be trading. US dollar Swissy, well, this has slowed up a little bit from where it was. The dollar did continue making advances yesterday, ended up on a positive day, but you can see it's just gone a bit choppy here for now. And again, another market that, yeah, we could get the correction to the downside again leading into Wednesday. A couple of cross pairs, euro yen being all over the place. The problem with the well, now it's out of the way, we might be okay for a few days again, but with the Bank of Japan, etc., and expectations that are built in there from third parties, well, you tend to get these ugly moves coming through there. This strong old sell-off on the news being released again, and yet it's only, you've got to take it a little bit with a pinch of salt, although it can obviously take you out of positions. This morning I'm looking at this Euro CAD again. I took a trade out of it yesterday. It seemed it might be running ahead of itself a little bit at the moment. Again, now it's starting to push through there, but yep, it's gone a bit, unfortunately, moving a bit on the quick side. Yesterday it was absolutely perfect in terms of timing. Moved it on the 9 o'clock bar, just like it better. At the moment it's pushed on just a bit too quick. Might have missed this, but we'll see. But it's got further potential on the upside in the coming days, maybe weeks. Even the way it's running at the moment is certainly stronger. Broke out the other previous flag trend and everything else, but expect further upside here, maybe into its monthly R1 with the previous highs there. Okay, other pairs there. I mean, the pound Aussie was doing half decent, and it's changed shape again, hasn't triggered. I was waiting for it's actually on the Heikin-Ashi there. I was waiting for the break of the lows there. It just still hasn't happened. It might yet roll over and trigger the trade basically, but the longer it sits here consolidated, the less interested I am of it, and I'll move away from it. I don't want to be sitting there. This the problem with the Aussie pairs. At times they can get into the very long consolidated periods. I'm just waiting for a bit more action. What I don't want to be in is another bit like what's happening here, where it started sliding over. Okay, it wasn't from a bear flag. This is a bear flag, obviously very clear, and it's sort of selling off. It's a lot cleaner. This one, I suppose at the time we should have been waiting for it to push up. Anyway, it's a bull flag, so you can see the picture, actually a bit of head and shoulders going on there, but it's got to fail yet, and it's not quite doing that. So there we go. That's the Forex majors. Let's just look at the indices then. Well, let's first look at gold. So gold back on the recovery. It did pull back off yesterday, but look, it's a mess at the moment, but got potential to continue back on the upside. Big money's going back into gold today as I'm looking at this, get back above the pivot, and it's going to look better, but it could remain, having seen the strength of it more recently, it could remain in this sort of chop zone. Oil, the money's coming out of this now. It's been coming out of it for a few weeks, the big money, and well, you can see it's just sort of reflecting the price is dropping here, lower highs. Doesn't necessarily it's not reflected in the markets, but this does look like it's got more scope to run to the downside again, but I will be waiting for this afternoon. Okay, just quick look, a couple of the major markets, S&Ps. So we did see some shift yesterday. We saw a bit of a turnaround, but the money's starting to roll back into it. But for now, technically, it's for me, you've got this bear flag. It's looking more bearish than bullish. But of course, then you come down to the hourlies, and there's a bit of, well, there's the bit of the flag. There's the flag itself. It's important if it starts breaking below the 50 and the 34. Well, could well have at least down to the lows there, maybe further. Looking rather soft still. The DAX, these DAX traders out there this morning. Let's just push up to the dailies there. So yesterday, a bit of a reversal day. Got to be a bit careful with this. To me, it's just chopping and consolidating. The data in Germany is still pretty raw and pretty ugly. Although sometimes we'll see the equity markets change before the data does. But for now, yes, it is catching a bounce, but unreliable, and it's in a sort of a pennant sort of pattern going on here, which are very unreliable. It's a 50-50. It's a throw of a coin, a pennant, compared to other patterns and the price action. Not particularly great. Again, the FTSE managed to bounce yesterday. Today, for me, it's still not a buy the way it's shaping. It would take something more to be up in that area. In fact, it looks a better opportunity to sell again. Wait for the breakdowns here. If it breaks down to these lows, whatever price it is, bearing in mind that each quote, many brokers quote slightly different prices on these indices. So a break of those lows would be the point where it might be better. Okay, that's it for me. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.